It was Valentine's Day, 1994. My frugal nature had had its fill. I was so annoyed with the doubling in prices of roses in the 2 weeks leading up to Valentine's Day, I decided to save a few dollars. Instead of the traditional dozen roses, I secured 3 roses in a nice display, nice vase. It was quite lovely. I had a card to go with it. I put it on the bar, awaiting the arrival of my beloved wife and her expressions of appreciation. She walks in. She looks at the 3 roses, lovingly arrayed, looks at me, and says, "Jeffrey, so I guess now I'm just a 3-rose wife." Ooh! I will never forget that. I cringe even today when I think about it, and that was what, 20 years ago, 18 years ago? I learned a valuable lesson that day, and that is this: ladies are different. Gentlemen, that's such an important lesson. I want you to say it with me. Ladies are different. You see, with men, you give me a practical gift, you save some money, I'm a happy guy. You give me a set of tools, I'm out that afternoon working on the car. I'm really happy. You give your wife a blender for her birthday, and you're sleeping on the couch for 3 months. It doesn't work that way. They want romance. They want those expressions of romance. And we, as guys who are not naturally inclined to do that, must learn these important techniques. Now, on your agenda, I've arrayed around the outside a visual explanation of these important techniques, starting with flowers. I learned my lesson in 1994. I suspect some of you are in need of a recharge of that lesson right now. You cannot give the lady in your life too many flowers. It's not possible. Give them flowers on every holiday. Give them flowers for no reason. Please, gentlemen, do not wait until you have to apologize for something to give them flowers. I've done that too. It's good, but you're in remedial mode then. Get ahead of the curve in the romance game. Give them flowers when they're least expecting it. And here's another tip before I leave the important flowers game. This is important whether you are married or, as you all know, I lost my wife about 18 months ago. I'm now in the social world. And flowers are critical, and if they have a job at the office, always pay for and arrange to have those flowers delivered to the office, not at home. Why? Because they will not only enjoy the flowers, they will enjoy the envy of all their coworkers. What a romantic devil you really are. So, always get those flowers. How important are flowers? I'll give you an example. I'm now in the singles dating world. I never wanted to be, but that's the way it works sometimes. I practically have Sparks Florist on personal retainer. Hardly a week goes by I'm not sending out flowers for some reason or another. They know me by name when I walk into the store over at Smith Ridge. That's how important flowers are. Let's move to another topic in this game of romance. By show of hands, gentlemen, who among you is a good dancer and loves to go dancing? Okay, about half. That's more than I usually get. Let me ask you this. Ladies only, who among you love to go out dancing with a gentleman who loves to dance and knows how to do it? Ladies, I know it's more than that. Get those hands up there. Gentlemen, that's what I thought. Listen closely. This is what we men in the singles world call a target-rich environment. If you go to a dance anywhere in this town, the ladies outnumber you 2 to 1, 3 to 1. If you go to a dance and know how to dance, you will never lack for a date the rest of your life. Even in my married world, when I was dancing almost exclusively with Tamara, she would give single guys the same advice I would. If they were wondering how to meet ladies, we'd always tell them the same thing. Learn how to dance. Then go out dancing. You will be such a hot date, you'll never lack for a date. So that's my key. If there are any single gentlemen here, or even if you're married and want to impress your wife, go take a few lessons, learn how to dance. It will be a marvelous addition to your romantic toolkit. Finally, if you look at the bottom left hand of your agenda. This costs almost nothing. It will set you so far apart from any other gentleman in the dating or even married pool, you will not believe it. And that is the importance of personalized cards. Other than a card for me in the past year, because I send out cards to congratulate people, I send out cards all the time. Raise your hand if you received a personalized card. Okay, not bad, not bad. More than I would have expected. This is a card I resurrected for my 25th wedding anniversary. And it was a thank you card to my wife. This wasn't the anniversary card. This was a thank you card I mailed to her the day after we went out. Tamara, amazing, just amazing. 25 years and you are as lovely as the day I married you. Thank you for spending a lovely evening with me and for a quarter century of blissful happiness. Your lucky husband, Jeffrey. Now let me ask you, what do you think the reaction was to that card?
Tears.
I guarantee you, gentlemen, you haven't sent nearly enough of these cards. I send a card every time I go out on a date, practically, to the lady that I went out with. I send cards and thank yous for anything they've done nice for me. I send cards for all of the holidays. And here's an amazing thing. I send cards to relatives to congratulate you something. And I learned from some of my relatives that most people save these cards forever. They can pull them out years later and tell me how much a personalized card meant to them. It costs nothing, a few simple sentiments. It will set you apart from anybody you're ever likely to encounter. So those are my 3 tips for romance. Gentlemen, remember, what's the mantra? Ladies are different. Say it with me. Ladies are different. We must get into our romantic mode with flowers, with dancing, with lovely personalized cards. You will never lie for a date, and you will never be want of a happy wife. We have a meeting to conduct today. And